in your 2022 memo, Sea Change, your main argument is the time of easy money is over.
And I don't think we're going to see that again. That calls for changes in investor behavior.
So what will be that?
The main thing is that debt holdings, carefully selected, should be returned to portfolios.
Another area that maybe also have a sea change is the tech area, the artificial intelligence.
Maybe the expectation for the adoption is a little too fast, but I think the power is going to be very substantial.
When people in the bubble, they don't know they are in the bubble.
There is an expectation that AI will change the world. There's every likelihood that it will, but there's also a good likelihood that we don't know today which companies will be the winners.
This time, when we try to revive the economy, we choose a more patient way.
And, China is transitioning from monetary bazooka to something more measured.
But the thing is, maybe we'll have several difficult years ahead.
In my view, doing the right thing means accepting reality. And in reality, there are ups and downs.
欢迎收看《顶级投资人》。本期节目嘉宾是橡树资本联席创始人和联席董事长霍华德·马克斯。Howard 是顶级投资人节目的老朋友，这是他时隔5年再次来到上海参加陆家嘴论坛。在论坛期间，他接受了节目的采访。Howard 是全球公认的投资大师，从业超过50年。1995年，他和 Bruce Karsh 共同创立了橡树资本，近30年来成长为全球领先的专注于另类投资的资产管理公司。Howard 以不定期发表的投资备忘录而备受推崇。在千禧年的第一个工作日，2000年的1月2号，他发表了一篇名为bubble.com 的备忘录，提醒投资人注意市场上互联网泡沫的风险。而这篇备忘录让 Howard 一战成名。今天，人工智能的投资同样热度极高，很多人都把它和当年的互联网泡沫期间的市场相比。那么，怎么看待这种比较？我们一定要听听 Howard Marks 的看法。Howard, thank you very much for your time to do this, and I'm very happy to see you again.
Thank you, Ivan. It's great to be back together with you in person.
Thank you. In your 2022 memo, Sea Change, and the 2023 memo, further thoughts on Sea Change. Your main argument is the time of easy money is over, and it is not a usual cyclical fluctuation, but a sweeping alteration of the investment environment. So now it's the middle of 2024.
Yes.
Any new further thoughts?
I believe that the decline of interest rates from 1980 to 2020 by 20 percentage points was the most important event in the financial world in the last half century. It made economies grow faster, companies more profitable, investments more valuable, leverage worked. In other words, it made it easy times. Human nature, when it lives through one set of circumstances for a few years, starts to think that's normal. And, the point of the memos is that experience of declining interest rates and then the extremely low interest rates that the world experienced from 2009 to 2021. That's not normal. And I believe we're not going to see it again in the coming decade. If not, that's a fundamental change in the environment, and it should call for fundamental changes in investor behavior. So I still think it's the case. One of these days, the Fed will conclude that inflation is under control. It will cut the Fed funds rate, which is the base rate in our economy, from the current level of 5.25% or 5.5% down into the threes, maybe let's say 3.5%.
But it will not come to zero.
It will not come to zero. It will not come to a half. I believe that in that 13-year period from 09 to 21, I believe the Fed funds rate averaged 0.5%, which is abnormally low, and I don't think we're going to see that again. So the effects of declining and ultra-low interest rates will not be the rule going forward. Mm-hmm. And that calls for changes in investor behavior.
So what will be that?
Historically, investors' portfolios have diversified between stocks and debt. But in this period, most people excluded debt because the returns were so low. Well, today, those high-yield bonds are not yielding in the 4s. They're yielding close to 8.
Yes.
And 8 is a very attractive return. If we cross over into private debt, we can get 10, 11, 12, and higher. So today's yields on debt are competitive with equities, high in the absolute, and I think less risky. The main thing is that debt holdings, carefully selected, should be returned to portfolios.
Another area that maybe also have a sea change is the tech area.
Yes?
The artificial intelligence.
First of all, Ivan, I'm not an investor in stocks, I'm an investor in debt. Secondly, I'm not an expert in technology. I know more about the traditional industries. So nobody should listen very much to what I say.
But you amazingly predicted dot-com bubble.
Yes, well, I was able to sense that, look, what people were saying in 1998 and 1999 is that the internet will change the world.
Yes. Today we say the same. AI will change the world,
exactly.
Right?
Well, I didn't know much about the internet at the time. Not being an expert in technology, I wasn't able to assess that. I merely thought that no matter how good it would turn out to be, that it was being overdone and overamped and overhyped in the market. Guess what? The internet changed the world.
Yes.
And the vast majority of the stocks that were introduced in the 99 tech bubble ended up being worthless. One of the aspects of bull markets is that people act as if everything will succeed. And the truth is that the successful companies are usually few and rare. There's no question, in my opinion, as a layman, that the AI will change the world. I don't know exactly how. I absolutely don't know when. I don't know which companies will be successful. And you know, that's a good part of the reason why OakTree and I don't invest in those areas. Some people think they know how to do it. They invest there. Some are right. Some are wrong. I know I don't know. But, you know, I heard Elon Musk speak at the Milken Forum 2 months ago in Los Angeles, and he said that Tesla and SpaceX are not using AI yet. Mm-hmm. So I think it's like most new things. Maybe it's a little overhyped. Maybe the expectation for the adoption is a little too fast. But I think the power is going to be very substantial.
Do you agree with the theory that when people in the bubble, they don't know they are in the bubble, they have a lot of theories,
right,
stories, vocabularies,
yes,
to justify
right,
the sky-high,
yes,
valuations?
Yes.
So any similarities that we saw today?
Well, look, I think that one of the things that I've been able to do over the years, based on attaining substantial age and experience, is detect when there are excesses in the markets. Today, I don't know enough to know whether the expectations with regard to AI are excessive. But of course, we do know there's great enthusiasm. There is an expectation that AI will change the world. There's every likelihood that it will, but there's also a good likelihood that we don't know today which companies will be the winners.
Final thing, let's talk something about China. This time, when we try to revive the economy, we do not use the bazooka things,
right,
to stimulate the economy, but we choose a more patient way.
Right.
What's your take on that?
Well, look, I like your terminology, bazooka. In the first 20 years of this century, the Chinese financial institutions fired money at the economy like a bazooka.
Yes.
Huge amounts, broadly. And it produced great growth.
Yes.
But a lot of the growth was the result of the monetary stimulus, the bazooka.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that phrase. The trouble with bazooka is that it has unintended consequences. And in fact, you look at the real estate development industry.
Yes.
If you give them money, they'll build buildings. The question is, will the buildings be needed and useful? And maybe you get the wrong buildings in the wrong place or the wrong type of building. Now I think China is trying to transition from bazooka to more moderate monetary support of the economy and balancing the desire for growth with the desire to let the market express its demand for products,
yes.
space, real estate, etc. And that's a healthy development, but it's a transition, and transitions can be difficult. And China is transitioning from monetary bazooka to something more measured.
Yes.
From 10% growth to 5% growth.
You think that is the right thing to do?
It is the right thing. And what I said in one of my memos, I guess it was Sea Change,
yes.
is that adrenaline
yes.
is a good thing.
Yes.
They give adrenaline to people having heart attacks, and it saves them. But you can't take a shot of adrenaline every morning for 20 years.
Yes.
It's not healthy. If you can produce 5, that'll still be the fastest growing major country in the
yes.
world. So the transition is appropriate.
So maybe we are doing the right thing, but the thing is maybe we'll have several difficult years ahead.
Yes. Doing the right thing doesn't mean that everything is going to work every year. And in fact, in my view, doing the right thing means accepting reality. And in reality, things don't go well all the time. There are ups and downs.